It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
And welcome into Purple Daily. Zolgad, executive producer Declan Goff, presented by our friends, our very good friends, my close personal friends, as Sid Hartman used to like to say, at Surly Brewing. And of course, we're coming to you from the TCL studios. Enjoy more with TCL. So appreciate their support as well. It is a Write That Down New School Purple Daily edition today. And Mackey is starting vacation, but because technology has gotten us to a point now where you can basically do your predictions from vacation, we will have 3 recorded predictions from our guy Phil. Also, guest predictor Jay will join in. So I say, Declan Goff, that we get right to it. Why don't we go through the Purple Write That Down?
Most make predictions and then never admit they're wrong. Yeah, that's not Mackie and Judd. This is the place where we just totally own our horrible predictions.
Write this down.
And eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Write that down.
It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackie and Judd.
It is Write That Down. With Mackie and Judd. Phil Mackey on vacation. Judd Zolgad, Declan Goff. We have guest listener Jay is in the house. Jay is going to join us here in just a little bit to make some predictions. And before we get to those predictions, Judd Zolgad.
Yes, sir.
Why don't we tell our friends about the fastest show on earth at Brainerd International Raceway with the world's best racers, and fastest cars around. Enjoy 4 days of heat-pounding, lightning-fast drag racing. Racers will be pushing themselves and their cars to the limits at the NHRA Lucas Oil Nationals at Brainerd International Raceway. Every ticket comes with a pit pass so fans can meet the racers and then watch nearly 330 miles per hour. I'm guessing Judd Zolgad has some predictions that are near the 330 mile per hour ranking. Maybe I'm speaking for himself.
No, I'm not going to get there today.
Okay. Well, anyway,
250 Dex.
250? Okay, I respect that. I respect that. That's a little warm up for them at Brainerd International Raceway. If you're interested for more information, follow along for tickets and camping at BIRMN.com. That is BIRMN.com. All right, write that down. Let's get into it here. Here's how it works. We have the Mackie and Judd edition, which you can find on the Score North MN YouTube page and on our Mackie and Judd podcast feed, Apple, Spotify, ScoreNorth.com. And we also bring that to our Purple Daily program, where they're all football or Vikings-related predictions each week. 3 predictions from everybody each week. Each of them must be quantifiable. We keep track of completion percentages and touchdowns on the Purple Daily edition. It's hits and home runs in the Mackie and Judd edition. And listeners, if you want to get in on a future episode, email me vikingsventline@gmail.com or shoot me a DM at Dex's Tweets on Twitter. I will gladly put you in queue. I believe we have some openings coming up in September, which means it's football season. Because then we're going to get some big touchdown passes. Then the touchdown passes are coming in.
Hey, Dex, what about the Score North app?
And you can use the Score North app. By all means, keep using it. Keep flooding it and keep populating every possible avenue for me to try to get you on this show.
So are you checking it every day?
I forgot how to check it. I just forgot how to check it. So, and Phil Mackey's probably listening back and like, God, Dex, are you kidding me? Executive producer, are you seriously going to admit that? Yes, I am admitting that on this show. I'm admitting that on this show. When you're the quarterback, running back, wide receiver, offensive coordinator, and in-game control coach, there's only a few things you can control every day on Mackie and Judd and Purple Daily. So
yeah, I appreciate the honesty.
Honestly, I'm just being honest.
Let's get to the accountability session.
Okay, accountability session still on the board for Judd Zolgad. Not a lot of things coming off the board here, but this one's still on it. Obviously, Justin Jefferson will catch a touchdown pass of 30 yards in the first quarter of the regular season opener. Now that is a touchdown pass from Judd if it does come true.
I don't remember
against
that
Bengals defense.
I don't remember that prediction, but if Trey Waynes is starting for the Bungles, I think it might come true.
I don't blame you. I like that one. A couple things off the board for Mackey, though. He said Kirk Cousins will decline to answer any questions about his vaccination beliefs, and it was Judd who was throwing the fastballs at him. But that is off the board for Phil Mackey, if I can get the right sounder up here. There we go. There you go, Phil. And he also, Case Cookus will throw at least one pass in a full team drill on Wednesday or Thursday of last week.
I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, because you're the committee member that has to make sure
I'm
that
going
came
to give it
true.
to him because I'm almost certain that he did throw at least one.
This one's still on the board from the listeners. Ryan said Larry Fitzgerald will not be on the Vikings opening day roster, and Amir Smith-Marset will be the third wide receiver. So that's still tracking to come on. We can see that happening, Ryan.
Yeah, I think part one he's already right on. I think part two is going to be KJ Osborne.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to figure, is that the first wide receiver set? Or is it by the depth chart? How are we going to quantify who is the third wide receiver?
The third receiver would be the first set that has Thielen, Jefferson, and who's the third guy?
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, because the depth chart wouldn't have that because it would have receivers 1, 2, and then 3 and 4 are on the second team. So it's going to be the first receiver essentially who's used in 3 receiver sets, if that makes sense.
All right. This one's still on the board for me. Harrison Smith's next contract will be worth up to a reported $20 million. That's still on the board. Harrison Smith, a unrestricted free agent, I believe, after this season. So he's entering the last year of his deal.
I like that.
And I wouldn't be surprised here in the next month that comes off the board for Harrison Smith. So let's look at our 2021 statistics. Myself, I am leading in completion percentages. I do have 1 touchdown. Judd Zulgad, though, right behind me at 37%, but no touchdown passes. Listeners at 33% and 2 touchdowns. And Phil Mackey coming back up, 31% and a season-leading 5 touchdowns for Philip Mackey.
So, Dex, since Phil is not on the show today, I got a question for you. Are you more impressed in this Purple Daily? Write that down. Are you more impressed by completion percentage or touchdowns? Because I'm starting to think the fact that I have no touchdown passes is a problem, and I think I'm more impressed by touchdowns.
Yeah, no, touchdowns are big. I mean, the thing is, we started this at the new year, so we only had a month of football, of real live football to play with, and then for the next 4 or 5 months, we've been throwing a bunch of bleep at the wall, and eventually it's still going to come off. But we're gonna, between September and December, it's gonna be like a touchdown fest. It's just gonna be nothing but, I think, touchdowns. We're gonna be having a lot be thrown up against it. So there'll be a lot of touchdowns to come off. You never know.
I fear my predictions aren't, how can I put this nicely to myself, bold enough right now, though. I feel like I need to get more bold. And so if I'm wrong, I'm really wrong. But I feel like I check down a lot. I gotta, if I'm going to watch the film,
ponder,
and say it's easily correctable, I'm going to admit right now, I checked down too much probably. So anyway, just a little bit of self-evaluation of where I stand on Purple. Write that down.
I like it. All right, let's get our guest listener, Jay, in the house. Jay, what's going on? You're on Purple Daily. Write that down. How you doing, man?
Great. Ready to make some predictions.
Love it. Are you going for... Go ahead, Judd.
Bold or not?
What was that?
I said, are you going for touchdowns or not?
I'm going for the fences.
Nice. I love it.
All right, man.
I love it.
Well, Jay, you're going to lead us off. We'll go from Jay to Judd to Phil, back to me. Jay, you are on the first team snaps here. Lead us off.
All right. So every year, the NFLPA releases a list for the top 50 player sales rankings.
Yeah.
Last year, it was just Adam Thielen on that list. The year before that, it was Adam Thielen and Cook. And the year before that, it was Cousins, Adam Thielen, and Cook. I believe, write that down, that the Vikings will have 3 players in the top 50 NFL players sales list.
Okay. All right.
Seems very
off
plausible.
the record, do you care to speculate who that would be?
I think it'll be Jefferson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thielen, I think, will be up there just because he's a fan favorite. And
Sure.
I think Cook will get back there if he has a great season.
I think those are probably, the most 3 logical ones. Yeah, I can see that happening.
Jefferson
that makes
for
sense.
sure.
Jefferson for sure.
is a slam dunk, I think, now.
Yeah, and then Dalvin, and also, if the entire state of Minnesota basically has an Adam Thielen jersey, that'll at least get it to 50. So, I like that prediction, Jay. I like that prediction. Judd, your first prediction on Purple Daily. Write that down.
You can write this down. D.D.
Okay.
Westbrook won't be in the top 5 among Vikings players in receptions this season. Off the record, it's going to be Jefferson, Thielen, Irv Smith Jr., Dalvin Cook, KJ Osborne.
Okay.
In part because of this. I don't know when Westbrook is going to be set to play. Like, he's not practicing. He once in a while goes out and catches some punts, But when they're doing drills, he's off to the side and he continues to rehab that ACL, torn ACL he had last year with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I don't know when Westbrook is going to be set to be full go. And KJ Osborne, to his credit, has done the most of trying to step into that third role and has been good. So I think when it's all said and done, Westbrook's not among the top 5 in Vikings players for 2021.
Okay. I like it. Phil Mackey's first prediction coming to us from live in Seattle as the man is on vacation, but here's his first prediction.
All right, prediction number 1 here for Purple Daily. Write that down. It's been a while since I've done a parlay. I feel like I've sort of stayed away from parlays, but Gamblin' Macadac is back for the Vikings' first preseason game. Write this down. 2-part parlay. The Vikings will beat the Broncos in this game, and Jake Browning will throw and or run for at least 1 touchdown.
Okay. Right, the first preseason game is this Saturday, right, Judd? Against
Saturday,
the Denver Broncos.
I believe they kick her off at 3 p.m. Yes.
All right.
And they practice against the Broncos at TCO today, which is Wednesday and Thursday. So they are finally going to be playing some games and facing a team that's not themselves. Next.
So a little parlay there. Yeah, my first prediction, I will say Christian Darrisaw won't start a game until week 4 of the NFL season. There's just no chance he starts the opener, I think, at this point. He's still recovering from that injury. He's going to be behind the 8 ball. He's not getting first-team reps. And I believe I already have a prediction that says he doesn't start week 1 of the season. But I will say Christian Darrisaw won't start a game until week 4 of this NFL season. Could be potentially another long year on the offensive line for old Kirkadirk. So we'll see how that goes. Jay, your next prediction, sir.
So I'm all the way here for all the Packers drama happening this year. So my prediction, write it down, is that the Packers will have at least 2 games that end in a loss due to poor time management, and Rodgers will be vocal about it to the press.
So both times.
Both times.
Okay. So that's so basically what's the most quantifiable about this as far as the decision on the prediction is that the quarterback will basically come out against his head coach twice.
Yeah, that'll throw the front office under the bus on it.
Okay. And we're talking pretty frontal then too, right? Not just shade. We're talking a frontal attack from 12. Okay.
I don't think he cares.
No, he doesn't give a damn. When you go up to the podium and essentially do the play-by-play of your close divorce with your team, you don't care anymore. I think you're right, Jay. All right, here's my next prediction. Saturday at US Bank Stadium, he's going to see extensive playing time because my guess is Kirk Cousins either doesn't play, I think he will, but if he plays, he's going to get a series. That will be it. Jake Browning, write this down, will throw for at least 2 touchdowns on Saturday. So Jake Browning will get the opportunity to throw at least 2 touchdown passes, Declan Goff, on Saturday afternoon.
I like that. Jake Browning fest. Yeah, I believe I made a Jake Browning call. I think it was Kellen Mond I said Kellen Mond hooking up with KJ Osborne. I'm guessing Kellen Mond will not be active. I could be. He might be active in the first preseason game.
I don't think he'll play that quickly, but I might be wrong.
Okay. But I like the Jake Browning predictions coming off the board here. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Coming off the board next week.
All right, Phil, let's go over to Phil Mackey for his second prediction.
All right, boys. My Vikings optimism doesn't just stop at them beating the Broncos and Jake Browning scoring or accounting for at least 1 touchdown. Write this one down. The Vikings will win the coin toss. They're going to start their season off on the right foot by winning the coin toss. And speaking of coin tosses, these NHRA races at Brainerd International Raceway are going to be close, all right? These are coin flippy races between cars going almost 330 miles per hour. It's a super fun vibe. NHRA Lucas Oil Nationals at Brainerd International Raceway, August 18th through the 22nd. You can even get down with your pit pass, which every ticket comes with, to meet the racers, get autographs. For more information about tickets and camping packages, BIRMN.com. That's BIRMN.com.
Look at that, going with coin tosses and Jake Browning. He's all in on the Vikings' first preseason game.
Coin toss for a preseason game to get a read in?
He did. I respect it. I'm fine with that one. You're really salty about a lot of these predictions with no Phil in the house today. You were mad at Mackie and Judd edition, and now you're even saltier on Purple Daily edition.
I'm not salty. I was asking a question.
You sound pretty salty. I don't know.
I'm old. I sound salty. It's morning. I naturally sound salty.
Oh my God. All right, my second prediction here, which by the way is powered by our friends at PXG in Southdale Center, Minneapolis. Go check out those Gen 4 golf clubs. Maybe you want the new putter. That's what I'm looking for. I need a new putter in my game. I broke 100 a couple weeks ago. I'm playing again on Saturday. So go on over to PXG in Southdale Center. They'll hook you up. PXG, the best performing clubs. And if you don't even want some sticks like Judd Zulgad, you just want to look good with a nice polo out there when he's at Vikings training camp trying to stay cool, they got the best swag as well. PXG Minneapolis in Southdale Center. All right. My second prediction here on Purple Daily, write that down. The Vikings will sign a quarterback from the time rosters are cut to 53 and week 1 of the NFL season. So does that make sense for being quantifiable, Judd Zulgad? So once the rosters are cut down to 53,
yes,
because then there's going to be some players that are released, I will say the Vikings will sign a quarterback from that period until week 1 of the NFL season. They will sign someone, and that quarterback will be on their active 53-man roster by week 1. So that is my second prediction on right. So
you're basically saying that Jake Browning's not going to make it.
He might make it. He might still make it. I wouldn't be shocked.
Keeping 4 and Kellen Mond ain't getting cut.
Yeah, well, you can put Kellen Mond on the practice squad, couldn't you?
Nope.
Well, no, they wouldn't do that. They could put Jake Browning on the practice squad.
Well, and he's got to be cut. So he's not going to get through that process.
Yeah,
so no,
write this down.
You're guaranteeing Jake Browning is not going to make it. Jay?
All right. Jay, your final and third and final prediction, my man.
All right. So I have not been a fan of how the 49ers have gone about their hyping up of Trey Lance and Shanahan being the offensive guru of the future and whatnot. So write this down. When Trey Lance signs a new contract after his rookie contract, it'll be for no more than the league average for quarterbacks at the time.
Whoa.
Off the record, I think he's going to be a bust.
Clearly.
For no reason other than I am annoyed by the 49ers handling of being all secretive about it and whatnot.
So if you're saying that, I don't think he gets a second contract there then.
Yeah, under the record, I would say, I wouldn't think that he's off the record. I wouldn't say that he'd be on the 49ers, but a lot of the time front offices don't like to admit their mistakes. Kirk Cousins.
Jay,
I don't know what you're talking about.
John. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Yeah, guaranteed contracts and all that stuff? I have no idea. Jay, great predictions. Anyone you want to shout out now that you have this amazing platform on Purple Daily and on our podcast and YouTube feeds?
Yeah, I'll shout out my dad and my grandpa. Raised as a Vikings fan. Love it. And I'll shout out my girlfriend for being down to listen to some Purple Daily every once in a while.
Hey, we appreciate that, man.
She's a saint, Jay.
Every time that she hears anything about the Vikings, she thinks, oh, yeah, Kirk Cousins, the garbage time quarterback, because of one of your episodes. So.
Jay, you have no idea how many people come on this show and literally have said that exact same thing. Like, shout out to my wife for not just putting up with me, but because putting up with us three as well, because clearly we are the background sounds for a lot of relationships or marriages, and Purple Daily is just a part of the fabric of that as well. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm a podcast consumer, so a lot of road trips and stuff.
Appreciate you, Jay. Thank you very much. Take care.
Appreciate it, dude.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Judd Zulgad, your third and final. What is Dawn okay? Does Dawn listen to Purple Daily at all?
Hell no. But we've been married for almost 30 years now. But no, she doesn't listen to this. She doesn't. No. If we get in the car and I got sports on, guess what I'm asked to do? Hey, can we put music on? So
yeah.
Okay, before I make my third prediction, Declan Goff, I am actually going out to TCO Performance Center today to cover the Broncos-Vikings practice. And it's going to be hot out there, Declan Goff. It's going to be hot, and it's going to be uncomfortable, and it's going to be what the kids like to call swassy, except for this. Do you know what I'm going to have on?
What's
you know what I'm going to have on? Below those shorts?
Oh, my God.
I'm going to have those chill boys on. Ladies and gentlemen, and Declan will attest to this too, this is a no BS endorsement, okay? Like, this is not a deal where we're like, oh, we have to wear these things, or we got to talk about these things. 51 years on this planet, and until now, I have never found underwear as comfortable and as welcoming because I welcome the opportunity to wear them as my Chill Boys. Chill Boys is great. Chillboys.com is the place to go. They're passionate about one thing, and this is actually true. That is your comfort. And Declan, I will allow you to speak on them as well because I'm 51. You're what, 27? So
Correct.
like we are at very different points of life. We're at very different points of comfort, but I think we all agree Chill Boys is the way to go.
No, it totally is. And, you know, the bamboo fabric is great, but I feel like we're really not selling the performance brand. And the performance brand is just as key as the bamboo. The bamboo is comfort, and I'm all about comfort as well. But when you're performing and when you're moving around and when you're golfing or moving around training camp, Judd Zulgad shooting all these videos for Score North social media and our TikTok feed and whatnot, you got to have some performance brands on. So the performance brand, the bamboo brand, whether you're posted up on the couch, I would be rocking the bamboo brand. If I'm running out at training camp, I'm rocking the performance brand. Chillboysmn.com, the most comfortable underwear on the planet.
And that's no lie. All right.
It isn't.
Here's my third write that down prediction for Purple Daily. I'm going to also, because we have so many backlogged predictions, because to your point, we started to make these in January and basically ran out of space to make predictions that were going to come off the board. I'm going to go with another Saturday afternoon Vikings preseason prediction, Declan Goff. And I'm going to tell you that KJ Osborne will catch at least one touchdown pass. Off the record, it probably will be from Jake Browning, but I'm not going to tie that together because I really don't see a need to. So KJ Osborne will catch at least one touchdown pass on Saturday against the Denver Broncos, who used to have the greatest or one of the greatest logos in the National Football League before they changed. That's it.
The Denver Broncos, as Homer Simpson infamously said. Yeah, I can see it. I could see it. And I haven't gotten to my third and final prediction here, but I will get that in a minute because I also was going to bring I wasn't going to bring a preseason prediction, but now I have one in store here. But first, before I do that, let's hear from Phil Mackey for his third and final prediction.
All right, boys, for my third and final prediction here on Purple Daily, write that down. I'm going to need Judd Zulgad to take off his headphones because this prediction is about Judd. So, Judd, if you could take your headphones off, honor system here. I'll give you a second. Okay. Just want to make sure that those headphones are off. All right. So write this down. Between noon on Friday and let's just say Sunday night when Judd's head hits the pillow. So noon on Friday all the way through to Sunday night when Judd's head hits the pillow, Judd will consume at least 9 Surly beers. Now you might say, wait a second, that's low. I mean, doesn't Judd wake up and drink 9 Surly beers for breakfast while he brushes his teeth? He's covering a preseason game on Saturday, and so I think he's going to be a responsible adult at least for most of that day. So I'm going to say at least 9 Surlies consumed by Judd between noon on Friday and the end of Sunday.
All right, Judd, you can put your headphones back on there. That was an excellent prediction
I
from
didn't
Phil
hear it.
Mackey. I know. Okay, good.
Covered my ears, took my headphones off. I played by the rules.
All right. Yeah, that was an excellent prediction from our Phil Mackey.
It felt like it was pretty in depth.
Well, yeah. Well, he gave you time to take off the headphones too.
Oh, okay. I took
them
right off.
I know.
Right here, so I took them right off.
Okay. Well, all right. My third and final prediction here, and I can't believe I didn't think of this until when I was making my predictions earlier this morning. But we are playing the Denver Broncos, who have when you're talking about quarterback rooms, you're talking about Drew Lock, you're talking about Teddy Bridgewater.
Why do you like Drew
You're
Lock?
talking about just two very good quarterbacks. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Like, I get Teddy totally, okay? I get What did Drew Lock do? Did he do something in college you liked? Was there
yeah, he was solid at Mizzou, and he's got a lot of swagger to him. I like a confident quarterback, okay? I like confidence. I don't like this passive aggressive and blaming people. He's got a lot of swagger, and I'm all about it. So that's why I'm a big Drew Lock guy, okay?
All right.
So I will say in the Vikings preseason game, Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater will each throw a touchdown pass against the Minnesota Vikings. So Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater will throw a touchdown pass against the Minnesota Vikings.
All right. Easy enough. Fair enough. I'm sure that, well, let's see here. So Drew Lock, who's the starter right now? Lock, I take it.
I think Lock has the slight leg up, but they haven't named necessarily the weak ones. It's a competition.
But my point is, I think the way that prediction falls apart and you don't get what you're banking on is if Drew Lock is considered the starter right now and plays like 2 series. Because somebody's going to play extensively, right? Like somebody's going to play a quarter or something like that. But the starters but the perceived starters not. So just throwing it out there.
Yeah, no, but I think both of them will still throw a touchdown pass, though. You never know what could happen. Judd, before we get to our little secondary talk here before we wrap, write that down. Predictions are sponsored by our friends at Moon Motorsports in Monticello, who will be celebrating 50 years as a family-owned and operating multi-line dealer in Monticello. At Moon Motorsports, you'll find side-by-side ATVs, motorcycles, snowmobiles. That's right. I know it's August, but snowmobile season is coming. I can see Judd Zulgad with his nice chill boys on, riding a snowmobile across St. Louis Park when we get that first big blizzard that comes. You never know. Never know. But his friends at Moon Motorsports could help him out. Come on, get on it.
Oh, I love him. Hey, Moon, I love you. I'm just scared of things that move too fast.
All right, well, I'll get one and I'll drive to your house. We are fiercely dedicated to the power sports riding at Moon Motorsports and ownership and experience, and work to support riders with the highest level of sales, service, and parts. Visit Moon Motorsports today, moonmotorsports.com.
Very nice work there, Declan Goff. All right. So our secondary talker to me is this. And as I said, I'm going out in my chill boys and shorts, of course, over my chill boys today to watch the joint practices between the Broncos and the Vikings on Wednesday and Thursday, which are probably going to be almost as important as the preseason games for evaluation purposes. I'm going to give you this one, and I'd like your thoughts as well. But I think so the Vikings are off Friday, which means the 3 of the next 4 days are going to really help determine and shape some of the competitions that exist. And I do think the initial depth chart was issued by the team, and it's an unofficial one, but it was issued by the team for the Broncos game on yesterday, Declan Goff. And really, when we looked at it, no huge surprises. I think most of the predictions, at least first team that I had on my depth chart coming out of that Saturday practice, held firm and held to be true. And I don't think, unless he's terrible, I don't think that there really is a competition between Breeland and Dantzler. I think Breeland and Patrick Peterson start week 1 if they're healthy, unless they come unglued. Okay. So like Dantzler to me is second team for sure. I actually don't think that there's a ton of competitions here, but I think the right guard one remains. And I will caution you this, as bad as Dakota Dozier was, and I know he stunk, and I know we've talked about this a ton, but as bad as Dakota Dozier was at left guard last season, I don't think the competition at right guard now, which is Dozier and Phil's guy, because he keeps saying all we are saying is give Oli Udoh a chance. I don't think that competition is near done. And I think Udoh has the leg up right now. Like if they start first team reps, I think Oli ordinarily is going to start, but they'll weave in Dozier as well. And Dex, I can't tell you in 3 of the next 4 days, and then the subsequent 2 preseason games, because they cut one out for 2021, how important I think that competition is, because that's the one place right now. So we thought initially that when they drafted Wyatt Davis from Ohio State in the 3rd round, that he was going to step in, and clearly he's not. But that is one position at which I don't know if they did nearly enough then to fill it. And that one scares me. And here's why. The interior push that a lot of teams get now is so substantial and so good. And as much of a problem as either tackle being beaten can be, especially the potential for Rashad Hill, who looks like he's going to start, as we just talked about, at left tackle. And that's Kirk's blind side. The biggest problem that quarterbacks face, I believe today, as far as the rush goes, is that interior push. Because if you get through, you're gone. Like you're gone. You're there. So I think it's worth really keeping a close eye on and observing, because the Vikings have set themselves up for a ton of justified criticism if this does not work. Like if right guard was ignored to a fact where, well, we drafted a guy in 3rd round and that didn't work. What are we supposed to do? sign somebody, go out and do something. I mean, Dex, how much did all three of us talk about, why are you bringing Dozier back? Like, that's a temptation you don't need. And that's when we thought, but he's purely a backup of some sort and probably going to get cut. So I don't think that there's actually a ton of competition for positions on the first team, but that one to me is a place where the Vikings have left themselves wide open to be absolutely torn apart if this does not work.
Yeah, you can make the serious case. The offensive line looks worse than it did last year. I mean, unless we're going to be proven like idiots with egg on the face here, and maybe Dakota Dozier took a step up, and Oli Udoh was this diamond in the rough, right? But when you look at offensive lines that have been stable for years, it's continuity. It's guys that have been there for a long time. So part of me wants to give maybe a Dakota Dozier a little bit more of a benefit and say, well, maybe he'll plug back in and he's now his second year and he's going to improve. But man, I don't know if anyone can really say that after what you saw last season. And then I think what's the frustrating part about this draft class, and if these guys are misses, is that fans have been saying for years and years and years, well, put capital in the offensive line. Well, they have put the capital. They have drafted Garrett Bradbury. They've drafted Pat Elflein. They've drafted Christian Darrisaw. They drafted Wyatt Davis. They've put capital in there. Their evaluations of that talent have been the extreme miss. That's been the issue. Mike Remmers to a degree. Actually, I think Riley Reiff wasn't as bad as people make him out to be, but they've put resources in the offensive line. That's a fact. That's not a misconception. That's a fact. The place where you can criticize is the evaluation of where those players have been taken and the players that they selected have been misses. That part where the criticism is absolutely valid. And I think it is something that gets a little missed, is we never address the offensive line. Well, they've addressed it. The evaluation has been poor.
Yep. And Exhibit A, Bradbury. And here's the problem. If you're right guard, so if you gambled and sort of went cheap at right guard and tried to draft a guy and okay, he can't play yet, which okay, that happens too. But you, just before training camp started, Declan, you converted a tackle in Udoh to guard. That's not a normal, like, let's just convert him now. That's ordinarily like a January thing of go work at these specific skill sets. Or Dozier starts. Do you know who that directly impacts and who can't afford to have a bad year in pass protection? Garrett Bradbury.
Yep.
Think about that. If you surround Bradbury with two guards that you really like, I'm not saying he's fixed, and I'm not saying it's fine, but it gives him a fighting chance. You can't tell me that Dakota Dozier, being as bad as he was at left guard last year, and the run that started with Elflein, who got hurt, and Samia, who was awful, you can't tell me that did not impact your center.
Right.
So anyway, I think the most important thing that we can watch, and I don't know how much we can glean, but you better glean something in the next few days, 3 of the next 4 days, is that right guard spot. Because if you're wrong there, to me personally, I think this whole thing becomes a house of cards, because if you have interior pass rushers on Kirk Cousins basically instantaneously, that ain't going to work.
No. And Drew Samia is another one of those guys that was drafted and was expected to step in and had a nice year at Oklahoma and then is clearly behind the 8 ball. Wyatt Davis was a good player for Ohio State and now is getting third-team reps and doesn't look like someone who's going to be factoring in to the offensive line until there's an injury or it's complete ineffectiveness. Right. So, yeah, this is something to watch. This is I agree. The cornerback battle, they have a lot of options there. Are they going to be who they were in 2017, I still have my doubts. I just don't think you can just plug in a bunch of guys and assume you go from 30th to top 5 defense. I just don't think that's possible. I do think you're better, and I do think you're at least league average, if that at the worst case. But I'm solidified there. The offensive line is the biggest X factor, and it's the biggest reason I'm having trepidations about this 2021 season.
Agree completely. All right, before we go, guess where I stopped on my way home yesterday, Declan Goff? I'm going to give you one guess.
Let's see here. You stopped to get Stella some dog treats.
No, where else would Judd Zulgad stop?
You stopped to get a pack of no, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's close because it's the local liquor store. I stopped at the local liquor store, and you know what I did there? I said to myself, Judd, the refrigerator only has one Surly left.
Oh,
Furious.
Okay.
Only one left. And guess what's not going to work for me? One. So I stopped and I got a 12 pack of course, the classic Furious, But I also, off your suggestion, or at least you broached it yesterday to me, got a 4-pack of the Coffee Bender.
Yep.
I love the Coffee Bender. So I had one Coffee Bender last night. I had 1 or 2 Furiouses last night, and I was very happy. You know what I was not concerned about at that point? The offensive line. I knew the offensive line. Well, I thought to myself, I don't care about that right now. So here's my suggestion. As the weekend approaches, it's Wednesday as we record this. Stop at your liquor store or your bar and get whatever you want beer-wise, but make it Surly. I'd suggest the Furious because I think this time of year it's refreshing, it's good, but Coffee Bender's damn good too. Surly, Furious, though, there's one thing that we know. It's Minnesota's favorite IPA. Furious is the beer that helped put Minnesota's craft beer scene on the map. You do enough settling in life. We all know that, right? Crack open a Surly Furious. Enjoy the IPA that revolutionized Minnesota craft beer. Don't settle, get surly. And when you get surly, you won't be surly. That's my suggestion in life. We are done here. Our work is done. Back tomorrow. We will be talking, I would guess, a ton about what I see on day 1 of the joint practices between the Denver Broncos and the Vikings. Phil will be back on Monday, but that does not stop the Purple Daily chatter. He is Declan Goff. I am Judd Zolgad. We'll talk to you later.